Let me see if I can share my screen. So you should see a big, let me turn this off. You should see a big Excel spreadsheet. And this is not my spreadsheet. This is actually one of my coworkers' spreadsheets, Sonia's. And she had sent me, she'd actually pulled this from HireTool, and she was like, hey, I wasn't able, because we have to upload through full name through Avature for whatever reason. And she's like, I can't combine the columns. I can't pull the full name. So I did a little bit of research on it. It's not very easy to do this with Excel. Excel kind of sucks at it. So I wanted to show you what I did, because I probably spent way too long on this. And there's some other things that you can do in order to combine columns, and I've done some other Excel tricks that I can show people as far as data goes. So it's been helpful. So basically, to combine the first name, the last name, which isn't very easy. I'll probably mess this up. You have to use the concatenate feature, but now you can use it short for, you can use the concat, which is short for it. And you've got to step, let me actually make this bigger if I can. Where's the view? I can't do that because I'm in the middle of a function. So basically, you have to combine two columns in order to do what I'm about to do. Have two columns with a function. And basically what I'm doing here is I'm saying, take that information from the first column, combine it with the second column. So I want A2, that is Andrew, okay? And I want to add a space here, so I have to use some quotes to add the space, another column, and then B2. What you'll see here, when I push in there, boom, right? So you're basically programming Excel to do this. And if you are on, say, hello, and if I can see the chat, I'll give you a shout out or something like that. Hopefully this is clear and you can see, because this is not the easiest spreadsheet to look at. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Ah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, so again, and I just learned this, okay, because I've used concatenate before and I wasn't very good at it. No, I don't want to do that. Concatenate, and we're doing A3, comma, probably jacking up this formula anyway, B3. Okay, so just to see that again, equals concant, I say combine column A3, comma, I want a spacing between the names, so that's why the quotes are there. Comma B3, I want the last name, and so those combine the columns. So this is not very easy, okay? And I'm not going to do this for everybody on this list. So what I am going to do, though, is I'm going to cheat. So when you highlight this took me forever to figure out, by the way. When you highlight this, you'll see you've got like this little green box, right? You have to release the left mouse button, and then you have to get the little crosshair. If you got the crosshair, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You hold it down, you go all the way down to the bottom, wherever, and you can see there's several people on this list. And boom, you see that? That makes me happy. That makes me happy because I hate data entry. So you got all of them, but the thing is, you have to have at least two rows or two columns that have a similar format. So that's why you have to set up these first two, okay? And that's what can be confusing for people. So again, equals concant A3, comma, or whatever the row number and column is, A3, and there's a couple, comma, and then you want to add the space. So that's why you put the quote marks, comma, B3, okay? There's a couple variations that you could do this, but it was getting kind of complicated. So I just wanted to do something to do this trick, right? So, and another thing that you can do is, so say you want to split out something. So say you have some data like we can do this. I can show this as an example. A lot of times you'll have like a bunch of emails together, separated by columns. In this case, I can see. Let me do the other split case. So instead of combining columns, you want to separate columns. Okay, so whether it's a space, whether it's a dot, whether it's anything like that, you can pretty much see a pattern in the text and separate it through text to columns. Now I have this, I don't remember where I found it, but I have it saved here. Oh no, actually I'm on the other computer. So yeah, let me actually find the text to columns, because that is one that I use on a regular basis. And half of all this is, you've got the data. So what do you do with it? Well, this is part of it. Maybe they changed it to something else. I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh yeah, that's it. So they just changed the name of it. So it's text to columns. So this is probably a newer version of Excel. This says convert text to columns. Okay, so text to columns, you can either do by fixed width, or you can use a symbol to separate. So a lot of times you'll see me do videos and I'll parse the data. Like I'll have a URL and you can tell it's separated by a specific symbol, like a question mark or a comma or a semicolon or something like that. That's where this comes into play. This example, I'm using a space, and it can show you a preview. Of course, now I have my profile, my thing in here. I don't want to do that, actually. That's a bad example. But let me do it here. So I'll use the space here instead, because I don't want to mess up my profile, my what do you call it, formula, when I just made it. So I use Excel a lot in different ways. This is one of the ways that I use it. So text to columns, and you see you can separate it by tab, by space, and it gives you kind of a preview. Okay, so it's going to separate it into 3 columns because I'm using the space. If I was to use like a, I don't know, like a period or something like that, it might do something different. But we're going to use space today, so you can kind of see how you can split it into different columns for various reasons. Yeah, sure, why not? So you see it split it, and you don't have to manually go in and do that, which is annoying too. The other thing you can do is the replace function. So say you have, I don't know, you have data and it says unknown a lot of places. Let me just use some examples here. Oops. Okay. Say it didn't parse right. Say the scrape, whatever you did, didn't pull right. Right, so you have these unknowns here, okay? More for exports off of like HireTool and Seekout and things like that. You'll see some of this stuff come up there. Well, I don't want that. So, and I would say save this up here to your quick bar if you can. So you can put in that whatever you want to erase, for example, if it's unknown, if it's something else, and just replace all, and see they go away. So I also do this for syntax, especially if you have a URL that's just junky and it has a bunch of weird symbols and things like that. That really helps too. So just a couple of things that you can use. I was just thinking about this. Hey man, like there's got to be an easier way to combine columns. So now everybody knows how to combine them, how to split them, how to replace stuff and junk that's in it. And that replace function also works great for like syntax that's in the middle of a column too. So that's how I help clean up data too. So there's some tips. Hopefully they help. I don't know why my TikTok is not adding audio right now, so I just thought I'd get on nerd around for a little bit. So so hopefully that was helpful. It helps me out on a regular basis, like today, instead of going through 200 people and separating these out individually. Oh gosh, I can't imagine that. But yeah. So as I think of more stuff like this, whether it's a tool, whether it's a process, I'll try to jump on more often and do this kind of stuff. But I just want to give everybody some quick hacks while I'm doing this, because like the containment stuff, never really been good at that stuff. But you just have to mess around with it until you get it. And yeah, you have to look for the crosshair. That was driving me nuts. I'm like, there's got to be an easier way to do this. So, but yeah, thanks for jumping on. I think that's Jer. But hey, thanks for jumping on, and hopefully this helps.